what strategies would you use to stop binge eating? That's a powerful question. One of the biggest mistakes a lot of people make when it comes to dieting, fat loss, everything else, is they think of what do I need to cut out? What do I need to avoid? Right? What's the bad foods and and I'm just going to cut those foods out. So let's just say, okay, you're binge eating on potato chips and your cookies and cakes and pizza and burgers and French fries and ice cream and whatever your junk food of choice is. So you have your junk, right? And you're thinking, oh, I got to cut out the junk. I got to cut out the junk. That's what most people think. And they're just going to rely on willpower and say, I'm not going to eat that stuff. I'm going to cut out all that junk. My strategy is the complete opposite. I don't focus on what I need to cut out. I focus on what I need to add to my diet. So instead of thinking I need to stop eating junk, cake and cookies and pizza and ice cream and whatever, I say, I need to eat more protein. I need to eat more vegetables. I need to eat more fruit. So I fill up on the good stuff. And by filling up on the good stuff, I naturally have less room for the junk afterwards. It's a total mindset shift. So I stay lean by staying full versus depriving myself. Like, I do not leave the table hungry. I eat a lot of food, but it's low calorie dense, high volume food, high nutrient food that's high in fiber, high in vitamins and minerals and protein and all that good stuff. So if you sit down to the table and you fill up on protein, you fill up on vegetables, and you fill up on fruit, then you naturally have less room for all that other stuff afterwards. And if you do eat some of that other stuff afterwards, you're going to eat less of it because you physically have less room in your belly. Let's just say, okay, you're going to sit down to a meal. Okay, the meal is pizza. How many slices of pizza can you eat until you're full? Right? Probably a lot. You could probably slam back a lot of pizza, and next thing you know, you got like 2,000 calories in a single meal just from pizza. Whereas if you sat down and you say, okay, I'm going to start off with 2 grilled chicken breasts. I'm going to have a large garden salad. I'm going to have some fresh fruit, whatever. It could be like chopped up fruit, or it could be like apple, banana, or whatever, or a bowl of mixed berries or something. But you start off with protein, big, large garden salad, and you have some fruit. You're going to be pretty full. And then if you have pizza afterwards, like, maybe you'll only be able to get in a slice of pizza and you're like, man, I'm stuffed. I can't eat anymore. So like, that's how you avoid the binge eating, right? It's not by cutting the food out. It's just by adding the good food in, and by just the natural process, you will have less room. I mean, when you add in the good stuff, there's less room for the bad stuff. And that is the strategy that I use. And this is a powerful strategy because it mentally helps. I didn't tell you to cut out anything, because if I tell you right now, you can never eat pizza again, right? You have to cut that out of your diet. What goes through your mind when I say you can never eat pizza? All of a sudden you want pizza, right? He told me I can't have it. I want it more than ever now. So when you go through that process of thinking of what you have to avoid and what you have to cut out, you start obsessing over it. You start thinking of it more and more, and that makes you want it more and more. And it just drives the cravings even higher. And then if you try and rely on willpower, you say, no, I'm going to stick to my guns and put the blinders on. I'm not going to eat that pizza. I'm not going to eat that chocolate or that cake or whatever. You can do that for so long. You might do it for a few weeks. You might do it for a few months. But eventually, the cravings are going to build up, and you're going to hit a moment of weakness. Maybe a stressful situation or a moment of weakness or whatever, and you just say, screw it. And then all of a sudden you start binge eating. And then once you binge eat, you feel terrible. And then when you feel terrible, how do you numb the pain? You binge eat some more, because food is your comfort, right? That's how you deal with stress, right? And then it just starts this snowball cycle where, okay, you lost a bunch of weight through willpower, but you couldn't maintain it. And then you binge, and then you feel like shit. So you binge some more. And then next thing you know, you got all the weight gained back, probably even a few pounds more. And then you're more pissed off and frustrated than ever. That's where most people go wrong. So I don't tell anybody to eliminate food, right? There's no good or bad. It's just like, let's have more of the good stuff, so there's naturally less of the bad stuff. I mean, you can still have some if you want. Honestly, the other day, my wife made a pizza, right? She made a pizza, and I had a slice of pizza the other day. But I had it after I filled up on grilled chicken, my large garden salad, and then I had some watermelon afterwards. So, I filled up on chicken and salad and watermelon. And she said, I got some pizza there. Would you like a slice? I said, yeah, sure. I had one slice of pizza. And after that, I was like stuffed. I couldn't eat anymore. Versus if I went the other way and started off with the pizza, I mean, like I could eat a lot of pizza before I get stuffed, because pizza is so calorie dense, right? All that, the cheese and the bread and then the sauce and everything else. I mean, it's so calorie dense. It's easy to slam back like a couple thousand calories of pizza in a matter of like a few slices. Whereas if you fill up on chicken and vegetables, you get all this massive volume, right? You're filling your belly up on a few hundred calories, right? So that's the difference. Fill up on the good stuff and you have less room for the bad stuff. And if you would like to actually discuss a realistic action plan on how you can actually implement that and make it work, hey, send me an email. I'd be more than happy to discuss it. And, I share some strategies that I've used with some of my personal coaching students to how they can actually implement this and make it work, where you can still enjoy some of the not so good food in moderation, but most of the time you're doing the right things. And it's like the 80-20 rule. As long as you're doing the right things 80% of the time, you can screw up 20% and still make progress, right? Like if you look at the bigger picture, like even when you're going to school, for example, 80% is still an A. You could be an A student and only get 80% on the test, right? You could be an A physique, right? You could have an A caliber physique and only be 80% perfect. Like I'm saying, you don't have to be 100% perfect. You can still screw up. You can still have your pizza from time to time or some junk food or whatever. But 80% of the time, you want to be on track. And that's my strategy now. It's not this all or nothing extreme approach. It's this balanced approach where most of the time I'm doing the right thing, but I give myself permission to steer off the path from time to time, and then I get right back on track again. So again, if you'd like some help and discuss some strategies, I'll be more than happy to chat with you. My personal email, leeh@leehayward.com, and send me an email and we can chat. Hopefully you enjoyed the video chat. If you did, smash that thumbs up button, give it a like. I do appreciate it. Have yourself a great weekend, and I'll talk to you in my next live video chat. Take care. Over and out.